Hey everybody, welcome back to the choir room. Joe and Mindy here, and this is your behind the scenes look at all things Grace World, what's going on, what's happening, and all that good stuff. If you missed this previous Sunday, you missed a great sermon series by Pastor Daniel. We're actually in the middle of a sermon series, the Exceedingly Abundantly sermon series. And this last week's sermon was about Isaac's journey. Pastor Daniel had a little well as a illustration on the stage. And when I say well, I mean like wishing well, water well, not like a whale. He didn't have a whale on the stage.
It depends on what part of the country you're from.
Yeah.
That would sound like a well.
Well, I think if I didn't think about it, I would just literally say whale. Because I don't know why. I had to overthink about it. Anyways, It was a great illustration. We talked about Isaac revisiting the wells of his father, and also a little bit of Isaac's journey and obedience of the Lord and stretching his own faith. And we're actually in the middle of a faith-based sermon series. We're in the middle of our faith initiative, the Yes campaign, and a lot of that played into that. But if you missed it, go ahead onto our Facebook, onto our YouTube, onto our website. It's everywhere.
It's literally everywhere. And I think that the important thing to remember through this whole thing, and I think our pastor is communicating very, very well, that this is not a campaign about fundraising per se.
Right.
Yes, do we have to raise a lot of funds? We sure do. But that part is not any kind of limitation to God. Like, He's got all the money. But this is an opportunity for us to stretch our faith. And it can apply to money, but it can also, it applies to so many other areas of our life. And that's the part I'm really excited, because we're going to see testimonies of not just God's faithfulness in finances, but I believe we're going to see His faithfulness in so many other ways. So I'm excited about that.
And we talk a lot about, and especially now, we're talking a lot about sowing in famine. And it was actually really interesting. If you guys haven't seen the video that Pastor Garcia recorded with us, that was a big point that he hit on too. But sowing in the midst of famine and seeing things through God's lens and not necessarily ours. You know, we don't live in the world's economy, we live in God's economy, and sometimes faith overwrites everything. And
it doesn't make sense sometimes, right?
Actually,
actually, if it makes sense, it's probably not faith, right? Most of the time, it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, so it's a great sermon series. It's a great message that was spoken on Sunday, and there's actually a really pretty cool video that was shown too. The Grace Kids leaders, Pastor Jacob and Javerna, they recorded a video with us this past week, and it was really cool to hear their perspective on the yes that they're giving as a ministry.
You'll be able to see that video. You're watching this on Thursday. We're going to post that again tomorrow. So you can see that like standalone by itself. But just a tremendous story of what God's doing in Grace Kids.
Yeah, it's always cool just to hear both of them speak. Because, you know, they're children's pastors. And so almost all the time when I see them, they're in kid mode.
Yeah.
So it's high energy, craziness, fun, you know, really loud, and that's what speaks to children. But whenever like we can get them in a chair in front of a camera and like let them just talk to us as adults for a second, it is like, I don't know, it warms my heart to know that's my son's child, like kids pastor. That is my son's kid pastor, and like his heart is like so sold out for seeing children won for the kingdom. And we sometimes don't get to see that. We just see the wacky, fun, energetic guy. But man, I don't know. There's even a part
He's truly a pastor.
He truly is a pastor.
You know what I mean? He's not just a guy back there like looking for a place to have fun with kids because he's a kid at heart or whatever. Which he does all those things and he is those things. But he truly is a pastor, a leader, an innovator. I mean, the amount of work and imagination and prayer that goes into everything that our Grace Kids do, that Pastor Jacob and Javerna do, is just, it's phenomenal.
We need to have them on the choir room.
We do.
If you guys want to see that, leave a comment that you want to see us interview or talk to the children's pastors.
And if you have kids and Grace Kids, you know, like giving them a shout out, letting them know how much you love them. You know, this is a great opportunity to do that as well. When you see their video tomorrow, you know, let them know that you appreciate what they are doing and what they're sowing into our kids right now. I mean, this is a big deal. And we are moving into this Yes campaign, and the reason that we wanted to hear their heart and their story is because this campaign is very important to our kids. It's very
Yeah.
important to the next generation, and helping to tell that story of why that's important is a big deal. And the biggest thing, sometimes it's like, if you aren't connected with Grace Kids, a lot of people, they come into our main lobby.
Yeah.
They never walk through those doors on the other side of the campus, which all that's about to change.
Yeah.
So exciting. We'll get to that in a minute. But they don't ever see the life and the activity and the room full of kids and the sound and the laughter and all the things that are happening at the altars and Grace Kids. But those kids don't drive themselves to church, right?
No, yeah.
And those kids come with their parents and their grandparents, and those are the families that are moving and relocating to this area right now. And Pastor, again, has done a really great job of expressing the need and what is happening here in Brooksville. I don't live in this area. Most people probably don't really even know that, but I actually live about an hour and 15 minutes away from here, hour and 20 minutes, depending on what day of the week it is, in Lake County. Okay, so this isn't the community that I do a lot of shopping and connection points.
You're not
sometimes.
bumping into Mindy at Walmart. Is what I'm trying to say.
No, it's very unlikely. But so sometimes when you live here, you are kind of missing you're just so used to kind of how everything's always been.
Yeah.
And you're looking from the inside out instead of from the outside in. And so for somebody that's coming from the outside in on a regular basis, I'm driving 75, getting off at that exit down there. I'm watching the growth. I'm watching the development happen on a regular basis. And it's incredibly exciting. If you think that Brooksville and Spring Hill is just the way it's always been, sometimes you just don't realize those changes happening right in front of you, but they're happening.
Yeah.
And Pastor Daniel, if you want to go to our website at the graceworld.ag/yes, the video of Pastor Daniel, I think it's on there. If it's not, it will be by the time this airs. Okay. Anyway, the video of him walking through the neighborhood and just explaining what's happening in this area, it is exciting. And those people moving into those homes are bringing their kids, their grandchildren, their kids into this house. And we're hoping that the church really get that urgency and get that heart for that, even if you don't have kids.
Yeah.
Even if you don't have kids involved over there, that you realize that they're the future of this church.
Yeah, I'm not sure if Pastor's mentioned it from the platform, but he has mentioned it in multiple vision meetings and whatnot that, you guys have probably already felt this pain point recently. I know I did, just trying to come to the church this morning. I got stuck in a weird traffic situation on the corner of 41 and 50. Because there's so much road work happening right there in the intersection. In case you haven't noticed, that's happening all throughout the community. It's not just because they're filling in potholes, they're literally widening the roads to make room and get ready for the influx of population that's happening right now. Like out on 75, there's a video, we talked about it, that there's not 75, out on 50 near 75, there's a whole bunch of new communities that are popping up. But even in my own neighborhood, I live out near the Royal Highland area. We've been in that house for about a year. Within this last year, there's about 11 to maybe more, 20, somewhere in that range, brand new buildings popping up in my neighborhood. Within a 3-mile radius, I can probably find 20 brand new homes being built all at the exact same time, all at the exact same phase. It's almost creepy because they're all exactly at the same level of how far they've been developed. And so
out of nowhere, it's going to be like a infiltration of your area of people.
Yeah. I live in the woods. When we bought that house, I was like, oh man, no neighbors. Now there's going to be a next door neighbor, a guy behind us, down the end of the street, guy across the road. They're everything's booming as far as development and construction. And so it really is like you said, you can't look at it like things are the way they always have been. There's something happening, and maybe just, take a second to look around and start realizing, man, there's a lot of people coming into this area. Yeah. And we're trying to make our church the best it can be for these new families. And we talk about that new building, that new atrium that we're wanting to build. One of the things that Javerna actually mentioned in the video that we recently recorded was that feeling of walking into our church for the very first time, and the first thing you see in this new building is this giant wall straight ahead of you that is just all Grace Kids. It is so evident that we put kids first as a priority in our church, because they are the next generation. And currently, if you guys have kids or if you haven't been over in the FLC, it is kind of disorientating to figure out where you go to check your kid in for kids church, or where you go as a parent after you've checked your child in, for the very first time.
Yeah.
That's kind of like, I don't know, we have signs. We've made signs, and there is kind of like a flow, like you realize other people are walking down this hallway and stuff. But
it's a unique issue with this campus that most churches don't have. You know
Right.
what I mean? And we have a great team that kind of helps people navigate that, but it's not in any way ideal.
Exactly.
We work with it. This is what we have to work with, but that's probably one of the biggest things that will change when that connection point is created in the middle of these buildings.
Right.
And that connection point, we're calling whatever it's going to end up being called. That I don't know if it's going to be called an atrium or whatever it ends up being called, but that center area between the two buildings is going to change so many things in one shot. There, it's going to change the presence of Grace Kids. It's going to change our community connection points here within the church, which is so important. Again, you have people that come in one entrance on Sunday and never even walk through our main lobby. Other people that walk through our main lobby and have no idea what's going on over in Grace Kids. So to even just see those things be able to like merge and connect, and to see all that life, happening in one place is going to be really cool.
There are some of you that found it a very shocking surprise that on any given Sunday, there might be 100 to 120 to 160 kids in Grace Kids on a Sunday. Mm-hmm. And that's insane that it's even possible to somehow not be aware that there's almost 160, 170, whatever the number is, children on a campus at the same time you are. Mm-hmm. But because we're so far away, it's so easy.
You wouldn't know.
It's so easy not to even know we even have a kids' church. If you don't have children, you don't go over there. Yeah. So, like you said, that connection point of just being in the same building as the other families that are, doing life at the same time you are, that's part of life. Going to church and interacting and fellowshipping with one another is a part of life. And if you're missing out on that opportunity just to see someone, that's when we're supposed to be a family here,
Yeah.
And you don't want to have the kids table and the adults table and never mingle. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. We are a family, and that space. We definitely encourage you to be intentional now. Mm-hmm. Don't wait necessarily for that space to exist. If you're looking for a place to get plugged in, if you're looking for a place to serve, gosh, Grace Kids needs some godly men and godly women loving on them and serving over there with them. So you can always get involved there. But, just walk over there sometimes. Maybe park on that side of the building and just see what's going on. It'll get you excited. And we're very excited. There's a lot of different ways that you can connect here. And sometimes it's things that maybe it's not right in front of you, so you don't think about it, Mm-hmm. Another really easy way to connect is through worship and creative arts. We talk about a lot of those opportunities, but maybe you're like, I don't really want to commit to anything long term.
That's me.
Yeah, committed to not being committed.
Yeah,
you're one of those anyway. No, but anyway, the Christmas season is a great opportunity for you just to get your feet wet, just to try things out. And a choir is a great place for you to, if you're not the most confident singer, or you just don't want to commit to anything long term. The Christmas season is a great opportunity for you to give us about 6 weeks. 6 weeks of rehearsals that lead us up to Christmas, for you to get involved, learn the songs that we have for Christmas, and be a part of that December 19th Christmas Sunday service, which is always a beautiful time of connection and family and warm fuzzies and all that good stuff. We're going to be talking about our theme for Christmas here really soon, probably within the next couple of weeks. We'll start giving you some sneak peeks into that. I personally am really, really excited about it because it's going to be fun. It's just going to be fun. And we want Christmas to be fun. And so if you want to get involved in the Christmas choir, we do need you to at least commit to those 6 weeks, okay? So if you only come up to 1 or 2 rehearsals, it's not really going to do you any good. And we really have a lot to learn. So if you can commit to those 6 weeks or so, you can go onto the Church Center app. You can sign up on there, or you can just show up here on Tuesday night at 7 p.m. And we'll get you plugged in right away, and we'll get you connected with all the music and all that good stuff. So we need as many voices as possible. We can't have enough. So if you want to get involved, commit for 6 weeks, and then who knows, after that 6 weeks is over, maybe you'll be like, hey, this is really awesome. I love connecting with these people. This is a great fit for me. You can continue on with us into 2022. And, maybe you go from being a vocalist to being a video switcher or a camera operator or who knows? There's all kinds of things. Just get plugged in. This is a great place to get started. So
it's a great on-ramp for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we're talking about Christmas, but we cannot forget my favorite holiday.
Really?
Thanksgiving.
What's your favorite?
I really do like Thanksgiving a lot. When I was
Yeah?
a kid, Christmas was definitely my favorite holiday, and I do like the decorations for Christmas and all that stuff. But Thanksgiving is something about it super nostalgic for me because my birthday is in November, and usually that's like back to back birthday, and then you got Thanksgiving and all the family and all the stuff. So that's coming up, and Grace World is doing an awesome event for Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
If you aren't aware, I believe it's Compassion Food. We're partnering with.
Partnering with Compassion Food, which is also part of our Nature Coast Outreach Center.
Right.
That used to be called Joseph's House, so just in case you didn't know that.
Yeah, we've changed the name of that. Well, we didn't change the name of that. They changed the name of that. Someone changed the name of Joseph's House, and it's now Nature Coast.
It's more like
Yeah.
overarching the whole area instead of being, a specific, So it was a collective decision. But yeah, Joseph's House is now Nature Coast Outreach Center. That will also enable us to kind of add more outreach opportunities going down the road. But
Yeah.
yeah.
Anyways, partnering with them, they're giving out Thanksgiving dinners to families in the community that might not necessarily have the resources they need, to have a traditional Thanksgiving dinner with their family. And so I believe there's actually extras available
Yes,
for people in the church.
Yeah.
How many do we have?
We had enough. We're going to do 200. Okay, all but 35 of those have been claimed, and we thought we had them all gone, but Miss Shawn Woodruff, who is overseeing this event, told me that they have 35 meals, 35 turkeys left over. We're building those meals by you guys bringing in those side dishes, but we got 35 left over. So if you need a little extra help this year, we want to be here to help out with that. And we ask that if you need one of those meals, to call the church office and talk to Dawn.
Right.
That's pretty much the only way, okay? So you have to call the church office, 352-796-3685. Did you know that was the church number?
No.
Nobody knows phone numbers anymore.
I just Google it and hit the
Right.
call button.
Well, just in case, I'll say it one more time, 352-796-3685.
There you go.
You can call the church, talk to Dawn, and she'll get you on the list and make sure you get one of those meals. There's only 35 left, okay? So once they're gone for this year, of course. But we'll do our best to help you out with that. So you can give them a call. It's going to be a great outreach. Let people know that we love them, and it's going to be fun. So we're about done here for today, but we have some fun things cooking for the future choir room episodes. One actually that was supposed to happen today is going to be rescheduled for next week. We have a very special guest. I'm not even going to tell you who it is because
Or tease.
it's going to be so good. You're not going to want to miss it. You're going to I'll just say this. You ever seen that show, Kids Say the Darndest Things? You remember that show?
Yes.
Because it's true. All right.
Right.
I think Steve Harvey maybe does it now or something like that. Anyway,
Right.
you never know sometimes with kids, and we're gonna have a very special kid on here next week and hear what he's doing to raise some money for this Yes campaign, and maybe just get his thoughts on some other hot topics.
Yeah,
It's going to be really interesting. So make sure you tune in next week. Please take this broadcast today, talk to us, share with us, get the word out, because we want you guys to know what's happening around here. Hear our heart behind it. Sometimes it's good not just to know what, but why, the story behind some of the things that we do. So please share this broadcast. Let people know about the choir room.
Thank you guys for tuning in. I guess we'll see you this next time.
All right. Bye.
Bye.